a presentation on asking a research question. I'm Michelle Hayes.
I have a great idea for a research project. My research question is going to be, why are so many kids picky eaters? Could you help me with my project?
Sure, but before we begin a project, let's make sure we're starting with a good research question. The research question is the most important step in beginning the research journey. It determines the study design, sampling strategy, the research instrument, and the type of analysis. It also determines all subsequent steps of the research process. It must be feasible in terms of skill, resources, time, space, and budget. The steps you must take are to choose a broad topic that interests you. Then make a list of sub-areas that interest you. Next, you choose your sub-area. Then raise your research question. Then formulate objectives. Then you assess your objectives and double check. You've chosen the broad topic of feeding and eating. Next, you can complete research to make an extensive list of subtopics. A few would include sensory processing disorders, food consistencies, adaptive equipment, food refusal selectivity, behavior problems, and oral and motor impairments. Which interests you the most?
Food refusal and selectivity.
Great, now let's come up with a few questions we can ask about this subtopic. What types of interventions are available to improve food refusal and selectivity? What effects does having a picky eater have on parents, and will occupational therapy interventions improve upon this? Does food refusal and selectivity correlate to any other negative behaviors? At what point does food selectivity and refusal constitute a referral to occupational therapy? How does structured time and environment relate to a child's willingness to behave during meal times?
That's getting close, but I would really like to do a comparison study.
Okay, how about, does the implementation of an extremely structured mealtime schedule improve the behaviors of children demonstrating food selectivity and refusal?
That's perfect.
Now let's write some objectives. Objectives use action-oriented phrases, turn questions into aims, should clearly communicate the intentions. When testing a hypothesis, the main objective should indicate the direction of the correlation, and sub-objectives should contain only one aspect of the study. Objectives. The main objective to determine if an extremely structured mealtime will improve behaviors of children demonstrating food refusal and selectivity. Sub-objectives could be to identify the strategies to improve mealtimes for picky eaters, to develop an extensive list of problem behaviors in children demonstrating food refusal and selectivity, and to determine the best structure for mealtimes when working with children who are picky eaters. Now our objectives are feasible in terms of time, resources, and expertise.
Yes, they are.
And just to double check, are you sufficiently interested in this topic?
Yes, I am.
And do you have enough resources to complete it?
Yes, I do.
Great. So what is your hypothesis for this study?
Children demonstrating food refusal and selectivity will demonstrate much fewer negative behaviors during mealtimes once an extremely structured mealtime schedule has been implemented.
Great. You have included a target population of children demonstrating food refusal and selectivity. Your dependent variable is the amount of negative behaviors during mealtime, and your independent variable is the implementation of the extremely structured mealtime. Now let's make an operational definition list used in this study. Operational definitions define words based on their meaning in the study. You can define children as boys and girls between the ages of 2 and 9 who are physically capable of self-feeding. Food refusal and selectivity as a child refusing more than 10 foods of selectivity eating or less than 10 foods. Negative behaviors can include anything that disrupts a typical mealtime, which can include throwing food, screaming, crying, spitting, hitting, biting, etc. during mealtime. Extremely structured mealtime includes all main meals as well as snacks that are given at the same time and in the same place every day, with the same people attending meals. Now let's review more literature before we continue on.